Hello, everyone. I just wanted to respond to the week one discussion board on Milton Friedman's essay on the social responsibility of business. Um, it was an interesting discussion, um, and a discussion board should be a free discussion, I think. But I just wanted to just not respond to anything in particular, but just to lay some things out, which I believe may not be obvious from Friedman's presentation, but I think are absolutely necessary for his point to actually have any kind of foundation. The big difference I see, the big distinction that's important for Friedman is the distinction in acting as a principal and acting as an agent. A principal can do whatever they like, but and really the principal here is the property owner, the person who owns, in this case, owns the business that the executive is an agent. And that's what to be an executive means, to carry out orders. It's very similar to being an agent. So a principal can do whatever they like. If I own a business and say I'm the sole proprietor of the business, I can do whatever that within the boundaries of the law. I can do whatever I want with that business, and I'm certainly under absolutely no duty to maximize profits. So, principal, you can do whatever you want. You can run your business within the boundaries of the law in any way you want. You can make it a nonprofit. You can, do whatever you like. But an agent must always act in the interest of the principal, and if they don't, then they betrayed their role. An agent or an executive has no will of their own, except insofar as they judge what courses of action are actually in the interest of the principal they serve. So if we're talking about a publicly held company as opposed to a private company, a publicly held company is a company that issues stock to the public and then anyone can buy and become a part owner of the company. That's what you are when you buy a stock, an equity. You own a small part, depending on how many shares you own, can be a very large part of the company. So in a publicly held company, the shareholders are the principals because they are the owners. General Motors is a publicly held company. That means that the stockholders own the company, and all the executives and the CEO and the COO and all those fancy people are simply employees. They're servants of the stockholders. So employees are always agents. Employees of any level, of any degree of responsibility, are always agents and are tasked with carrying out the wishes of the principals, the owners. So in a publicly held company where the owners are too numerous to actually find out how they want the company to be run, because it could be hundreds of thousands, perhaps, through mutual funds, be millions of people who own an interest in the company. The most reasonable inference, of what their wishes are is that they bought their stock because they wished it to increase in value. Excuse me, not sticks, stocks. Stocks increase in value when the company makes a profit. So it can be further inferred that what the stockholders want the executives to do is to maximize profit. That is, unless there's some sort of canvassing, some sort of questioning of individual stockholders and what they would like the company to do, the default order, the default notion of what the wish is always do whatever maximizes profit. So this gets us to Friedman's problem, the idea that businesses have social responsibilities, and they could mean anything from ending racism in the United States to helping with economic inequality to helping with environmental degradation and global warming, all very, very important issues. But Freeman's point is that if you devote company resources to any issue, however vital, um, that would reduce profits. I mean, if it would reduce profits, that would be to go against the wishes of the stockholders, of the owners. The executive then who did that would be surpassing the limits of their authority. That is, they would be, as in his mind, imposing a tax on the shareholders. So really, I think one of the things we come out of this with is a very challenging notion of the limits of what an executive or any employee of a publicly held company can actually do to help the community, to do anything. But I mean, maybe they can't do it, right? Right. So I just wanted to emphasize that. That is that uh, we all think of businesses as, well, many of us think of businesses as potential sources of good for the community or having social responsibilities. I would say that Friedman's central point is that in the way that business actually occurs, that anybody who is interested in making the world a better place has got to acknowledge the limits of their authority.